Introduction of Radheshyam Das. Radheshyam Das is an IIT Mumbai topper. Is president of ISKCON Pune for last 26 years and leading a community of more than 6,000 members. He is compiler of many youth books like Stress to Smile, 5 volume of Essence of Bhagavad Gita, etc. Designer of Discover Yourself International course with 6 sessions for youth and corporates. He is a Global Excellence Award winner for educating youths in Bhagavad Gita, recipient of Jiva Goswami Award for Innovative Youth Outreach, Global Duty Officer of ISKCON for Youth Outreach visiting Boston and many places in USA, has been a youth trainer since last 25 years and has been training the youths in IITs, NITs and reaches out to Pune, Kolkata, Kanpur, Mumbai, Thane, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Dharwad, Belgaum, Mysore and many other places. He has presented seminars at MIT Boston, Stanford University, University of Washington, Cornell University and others. Has been a leading corporate presenter at Amazon, Bank of America, Infosys, Dutch Bank and Cognizant and Persistent. So we are very happy to have amongst us Radheshyam Das.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome all of you. How many of you are present for the previous part of the same seminar? You were present. Okay, more than half of you. Okay. I won't be able to revise that now. In case you like the part 2, then you can ask for the video of the part 1 and can go through that. Huh? Recently, one SRM university asked us to give a 10-session course to their students as an elective course. So I was preparing a syllabus. So while preparing syllabus, I came across one observation. I'll just show you. No, not a bit. Only a little bit I have to show. The battery is getting over. See, these are the 3 courses I sent them. You see syllabus 1, this is based on Ramayana. You see this? See, if you see life lessons on Ramayana, it teaches us many lessons on interpersonal dealings. How Lord Ram dealt with Vanaras, how Lord Ram dealt with Rakshasas, how Lord Ram dealt with his own wife Sita, how he dealt with his brothers, and how he dealt with his friends like Sugriva. So it has a lot to do with interpersonal dealings. All of you assembled here today, can you say you have to do with interpersonal dealings in your life? So you will learn so many things. These are the 10 topics. trusting relationship, power of association, and all these things. So I named the course as Life Lessons on Ramayana. They wanted this. And another course, if you see, management lessons from Mahabharata, you know. So here also there are many lessons from Mahabharata. So Mahabharata teaches many professional related topics, um, which uh, which is especially dealing in office situation. When you are a leader of a team, when you have to deal with people in a team, when you have to deal with decision making, when you have to deal with goal setting, when you have to deal with strategy planning, then you have to deal with leading a team of people of varieties of talents. So Mahabharata has innumerable lessons related to that. And the third course is from Bhagavad Gita, Gita in Daily Life. So if you see, Gita has a lot to teach about mind management, mm, how to work in a stressful situation without taking stress inside. Uh, and also, it has a lot to do with habits, how to give up bad habits and learn good habits. And also, three greatest enemies to any human being are lust, anger, and greed. How to get rid of these three gateways to hell. Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kama krodha tata lobhastasmat etatrayam tyajet. Krishna says, give up these three gateways to hell, he says, lust, anger, and greed. So, so Gita has a lot of knowledge about, self-control, self-management, self-development, all these things. So when you say self-control means controlling our senses and mind. Self-management means actually managing your emotions to make it suitable for dealing with the people around you, without not allowing the environmental influence over you, and be able to stand courageously and make decisions. That is also self-management. And self-development actually means, learning to grow in every respect. So I had a 10-part series on self-development course. If you go to YouTube, you'll find out self-development course. If you put, you will find 10 sessions. So I had done it very elaborately, one session a week. There you will get varieties of things. So the point is, you can see there's so much Gita has to offer for our daily life. How to tolerate ourselves in provoking situations, when we are subjected to provoking situations. So I have sent them these three courses. They said that they're going to send it to all the students, and whichever ones the students are going to choose, that course will be made the elective. That was the plan. In the same manner, you may wonder, what is what is the spiritual thing to do with the topic of self-management? You may think there's a lot to do. See, there are 6 aspects here. If you see in the picture, you find, the left top corner is talking about goal setting. And the one below that is decision making. And then the next to that is learning agility. That's the third one. And then the right side of it is time management, fourth one. And the fifth one is at the top right, which is communication skills. And sixth one is in the title itself, which is self-management. So these 6 things are put together called as self-management competencies. And the leaders across the globe who are top-notch leaders, they are actually supposed to possess these 6 things in great proportion. So they are actually are people of character. There is a book by his Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami on leadership in the age of higher consciousness. Part 2, if you read, you will see that he writes a lot about this. So now I have finished a few of them before. I probably a couple of them I think I finished before. Self-management I completed last time, elaborately from Bhagavad Gita. Then today you will learn this time management, then learning agility, goal setting, decision making. So these 4 you will learn today. And the other 2 I completed before: communication skill and self-management we finished before. These are the 6 aspects called as self-management competencies. See, the one I have put in yellow is easy to remember for you. I have put it in yellow color, you see. Self-management, communication skill, time management, learning agility, goal setting and decision making. So there are also other synonymous words also given. So how do you remember this? Not very difficult. Mm. You see, if you see the first one, self-management means manage your emotions in such a way that environment or the people around you don't affect your decisions, and you remain independent of it, and you are able to think at your own feet and make appropriate decisions and march ahead in life. That is actually called self-management. Arjuna was told this by Krishna in 2.14 Bhagavad Gita. Matra sparshas kaunteya shitoshna dukkada agamapayino anityastam stitikshasva bharata. Arjuna, don't try to modify the situation around you. Learn to tolerate it and stand and fight. For example, imagine this entire room is full of thorns. You can ask for two things. You can ask for a big rug which can cover all the thorns, or you can ask for a shoe. Which would be cheaper? To cover the entire room with a rug would be cheaper, or to have a shoe is cheaper? Some of them are doubtful, I think. You're doubtful? Shoe will be damn cheap. In fact, there is something called sandak shoe. That is only 50 rupees only. You can get damn cheap. If you have to put a rug in this entire room, it will be very costly. And that's what Krishna is telling. Don't try to change the world around you. You learn not to get affected by the world around you. So that is actually the aspect of self-management. That means when people are angry towards you, you learn the skill of tackling that anger. When people are affectionate to you, then you learn the art of assessing whether it is fake love or real love. So he says how to situate yourself in this world. So last time what we were speaking was elaborately on Sita Prajna from Bhagavad Gita. If you want to know more about it, you can read 2.56 to 2.72 Bhagavad Gita. So you will get very detailed information there. And if you go to the self-development course, there I have spoken on these things very, very detailed. So personally, I can honestly say I learned a lot of things from Gita in that respect. First one. Second one, communication skill means, first is self-management is all about your own behavior. Inside your mind, what is going on. Whereas when you talk about communication skill, it is interpersonal, dealing with other people. How do you talk to your equals, your seniors, your juniors, with people unknown to you? How do you connect? So how do you communicate your ideas? How do you listen well? Do you speak well? Are you able to get across your ideas to others? So that is about communication. We discussed about it before. Mm. Mm. And the third one is time management, which we will do today. So any management meeting you do, you should ask what is to be done and who will do it by when. You should always, if you don't answer these three questions, the meeting is a waste. So what are the three questions you should ask? What is to be done? Who will do it and by when? So even if you are thinking about planning for your studies subjects, what are the syllabuses I am going to cover in the coming 1 month? Who will do it? Only I will do it, correct? No? And by when? Then deadlines, you mark, correct? No? So goal setting means deadlines. And by when means, time management and goal setting, both of them will come. What is to be done? The goal has to be set. And by when? The time management comes. Correct, no? And while achieving that goal, there are going to be many challenges you will face on the way. That is called learning agility. How you learn to adapt yourself, not forgetting the goal. One example I'll tell you. Hanuman's goal was to find Sita, you all know, correct? So on the way, he found one obstacle. What was it? Her name was Surasa. She was a very big snake. So the snake told Hanuman that nobody goes to Lanka without first entering into my mouth. This huge snake said. Hanuman said, okay, I will enter your mouth, but what if you eat me up? She said, yes, that is the point. I am going to eat you up. For that purpose only you have to go inside. Then Hanuman said, then how will I do my duty? By going to Lanka. She said, my purpose of being here is not to let anyone go to Lanka. Therefore, you can't go. In case you slip out of my mouth and escape, then you may go, she said. Hanuman thought it's a very dangerous thing not to waste time. You know what he did? He didn't fight with her. He folded his palms and humbly prayed to her. He told her, Madam, please let me go, find out Sita, give information to Ram, then I will come and enter your mouth. And I give you God promise. Huh? He said. But Surasa was not satisfied with that answer. She said, No, no, no. I cannot let you go unless you enter my mouth. So now Hanuman became angry now. See, generally, how many of you experience? First you become humble. If people don't agree, you become angry. You have experience? Correct? Is it? Then Hanuman, increased his size, double size. And she also opened her mouth, double size. Then Hanuman made it 4 times his size, 6 times his size. And she was also opening her mouth bigger and bigger. Then Hanuman realized, I am showing my ego and she is showing her ego. You all have seen this anywhere in your life? Two people showing their ego, growing bigger and bigger, and both are unable to control. You've seen that? It happens in this world. So at that time, Hanuman realized this is a never ending game. And ego doesn't serve the purpose. Many times, ego tussles, end up in both parties saying, I'll go my way, you go your way, like that. Nothing tangible comes out. It's, like one husband and wife, had a tussle, small tussle. You see, in the evening, everybody is wondering what is the secret you are bringing. What are you going to reveal? They're not revealing anything. It's just a backdrop. It's a background. Huh? So, what was the problem? The wife asked the husband in the evening, did you bring that? One thing I told you to bring from the market. Husband said, you never told me. She said, I told you in the morning, she said. But he said, not to me. Maybe you told your friend or somebody. She became extremely angry. She said, you think I am foolish? Right under the sun, wide awake, just before you went to office, I told you. You are very forgetful and you are telling me that I didn't tell you. So now husband was thinking, this is a never-ending fight. So what do you think he said? He said, maybe I forgot. Maybe better that's what it said. Faint pencil is better than a bright memory, it is said. So then he took a notebook and pen and told her, henceforth I will always note down. Then her wife became very happy. Now you accepted now. You forgot. At least the war was over. Correct now. So one out of the two should become humble. You know the story of the two goats which came on the bridge, no? One said urgent, urgent. He said, other one said super urgent. He said, both were urgent. So they fought like this and they fell into the river. You know the story? But we learned the story in our LKG. We learned. Actually, we should teach it in college level. We should teach it. The children don't fight so much as big people nowadays. So another story says the two goats came. He said urgent, super urgent. Then one of them agreed to wait. The other one walked over him like this and then went to the other side. He got up and went this way. Then both of them, the purpose was served. So in your life also, any goal to be achieved, will you go on an ego trip to prove yourself or you will have your eyes fixed on the goal? How many of you say that? Eyes fixed on the goal. Really? Let us see. Let us see how you are able to put aside your anger, put aside your ego and be fixed on the goal. Hanuman was like that. So Hanuman understood ego is of no use. Quickly he became very small and then entered her mouth and came out. Maybe I can show you. Let me just check whether I can locate it. If I can locate it, I can show you. You can see this verse I was telling you. See, Hanuman is becoming big. He went in and came out. Now Hanuman said, see, condition fulfilled now. Now you can't demand me anymore. She also said, you are very smart. So you can go to Lanka, she said. So Hanuman was really smart. So therefore, you have to set the goal and fix your mind on the goal. And the time management is about planning of your time. Learning agility means adaptability to varying situations. I'll show you more about it today. And the last one, that decision making is a very, very vital thing because there are so many uncertainties and there are so many alternatives available nowadays. So we will discuss all these four today. Okay. So okay, first we are doing the time management. We are doing. Please, one of you read that conscientiousness. Yeah, read it.
Conscientiousness. It involves an individual being thorough, careful, and vigilant, and implies a desire to perform a task well. People with this competence, time management, meet commitments and keep promises, hold themselves accountable for meeting their objectives, are organized and careful in their work.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you make commitments and keep commitments. Then only you grow as a leader. If you have no commitment, you don't grow at all. And also making yourself accountable for meeting your objective. That means you take responsibility. And thirdly, you're organized. Your table is organized. Your activities are organized. The people with you are organized. Your own time is organized. Everything. See, there's a chart on the right side. You see, the top you see urgent, not urgent. Correct. Below important, not important. So it will become more clear in the next slide for you. If you don't know how to manage your time, what happens to you? These are the things that can happen to us. We become angry. We run short of time. In a day, the whole day passes without doing much. There's no planning. We get overloaded last minute with too many things to do. So therefore, we need to learn about how to manage time. And my time management seminar is much different from what you typically see the self-help books. This will be much, much different. You will see that now as a procedure. There is a reason for this. Because time managers, they have 4 generations of time management. I have not shown the slides to you here. That I do it elaborately in time management seminar exclusively. Here I will not show that. First one is called to-do list. Morning you get up, take one post-it slip and write to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And keep on doing as many things as you can. And then some things will remain. Push it to the next day. This is a very simple thing. Second generation time management means you understand that important things have remained and less important things have been done. Then you are very frustrated. So you understand that I need to actually make sure that if I don't do it today, it has to happen in the coming week. So you start purchasing a calendar and making weekly and monthly plans. That's a second generation time management. But some of them, even after making it weekly, monthly, still they may not happen. How many of you experience of too many things to do and less time? You have experience? Correct, yeah. Then you go to the third one called as prioritizing. That's a third generation time management. Prioritizing means what is most important for me? I'll do it first. What is less important? Put it in a later priority. Still, you find there are many things not happening. Then in the fourth generation time management, which is what the world knows now as fourth generation time management. So there they say that look at what you value in life and what you consider as most important, not just priority. Why am I doing what I am doing? Is it really important for me? Or I am just doing it because everybody is doing it. So that is where you go from, a mediocre performer to a extraordinary performer in fourth generation. So you will see here. See this. I'll show you. Oh, sorry. See, you are seeing this urgent, important. You are seeing, correct? I am showing it here. See, crisis, pressing problem, deadline is coming. Huh? Cursor here doesn't come. Here you show it like this. Huh? Okay, that one, the pink one. The pink one which you are seeing. Huh? So that is called as quadrant 1. And quadrant 2 is in blue. You are saying quadrant 2. So I will give you an example. So it makes it easy for you. What is the difference between the two? Say, for example, you have a gas cylinder which is half empty. So you are telling your friend that, hey, next 4 days it will get over, please bring it. So that is in blue quadrant, blue color. Prevention. And then in case your friend forgot to bring the cylinder for next 3 days, and the fourth day sabji is getting cooked, half cooked, and then the cylinder got over. That comes to quadrant, pink quadrant. That is quadrant 1. Which is, what is quadrant 1? Urgent, important. Another example I'll give you. Say you have you now your new semester is starting in January, and your exam is going to be in May, for example. In January, you are sitting with your books, planning how am I going to study in the following months. That is in which quadrant? That blue color quadrant, quadrant 2. That is not urgent but important. But imagine you never planned. You went with your friends for a movie, you went here, went there, and you spent all the time. Now, just in the 1st of May, you think that, 3rd May or 4th May exam is starting. Now, let me see what is there in the book. You're sitting with the book. What is that? It is in which quadrant? That's in pink quadrant. That comes to urgent, important. Now, you have to know what is there in the book, otherwise, you will fail in the paper. Correct, no? So, how many of you feel that most students do their activities in quadrant 1 instead of quadrant 2? Correct, no? You see, people do that. So, what in the scriptures also say, you should make short term and long term goals in material life and spiritual life. You should always make short term and long term goals. Always. What I will do today, what I will do this week, what I will do this month, what I will do in this 6 months, what I will do in this year, what I will do in the next 5 years, what I will do in the next 10 years. So it's called as short term and long term goals, both in material life and in spiritual life. So those people who plan like that, they are in quadrant 2. Therefore, there's a saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It is said. If you don't make a plan, then, therefore, there are 2 words in English. Is your life going on by design or by default? Most people's life is going on how? By default. There's no design. Design means you make a conscious plan. Default means you flow with the wind. Most people, what they do? Like, for example, they open the computer and they flow with the wind, watching different YouTube videos, seeing different pop-ups, going here, going there. Suddenly they find, I want to do some important assignment, I never started it. The 6 hours are over. So they are going by design or by default? By default. So these are the expert examples of time wasters, how people waste their time. So if you really want to be a good time manager, you move yourself from the pink quadrant to the blue quadrant. Okay, please read what items are in blue quadrant. Somebody can read it. Take the mic.
Quadrant 2 activities, prevention, boosting capacity and increasing competence, finding new opportunities, planning, recreation.
Yeah, all these things come in that. Like advanced planning, finding opportunities in advance, and planning for it. Like, for example, I was about to give a seminar today afternoon, a couple of hours seminar. It's a national seminar. Many people participate in it. And there were skits to be done. So I forgot totally. I had written beautiful skits, 2 skits. Yesterday only I remembered in the afternoon time, oh, the skits are there. I can make 2 people in the audience read the skit. Or I can get the skit done in a very nice video format. And I can get it made and I can show it like a movie. Which would be more impressive?
The video.
Movie would be impressive, but just 2 people just see and read it. Movie would be impressive. So as soon as the thought came yesterday, immediately I requested some of our boys to do the skit, prepare it, and they prepared the video. And by today morning, it was ready, and we showed it. People enjoyed it so much. If I didn't plan yesterday, today just before the program, if I think, will it happen? So yesterday it was in which quadrant? Quadrant 2 or 1?
2.
Yesterday it was in quadrant 2. But if I don't do it, if I brought it to quadrant 1, just before the program, half an hour before, I thought how nice it will be if I can make it into a movie. Is that possible? So that when it comes to quadrant 2, many times we are unable to do things what we intend to do. You may have good intention, but you cannot do it. Therefore, in life, always go for planning first, prevention, and also Plan in advance. There are many things. Only few are given here. I will show you more things later will come. Now see at the right side, not urgent, important. Quadrant 2, plan is written. Are you seeing that? Plan it. And quadrant 1, what it says? Do it now. So there you have time to plan, but here there's no time to plan. You have to act now because it's urgent and important. Hmm. You have to plan it. You have to immediately do it. Like for example, your owner tells you that if you don't pay the balance rent within the first week of this month, we will ask you to quit the flat, if he says. So you have been thinking, anyway, he has given us 7 days time. We'll pay it. Some people don't pay till the last day. On 7th day, the owner comes and says, see, either you pay today or vacate tomorrow. So that comes to quadrant 1, correct now? Somehow you have to get the money today and pay it. So I am spending time on this because quadrant 1 and 2 are the most important. Quadrant 3, below you see, that is useless quadrant because things may be urgent, but they are not important for you. How many of you receive phone calls which you feel is many times is a waste of time, which is not so much important for you? You have experience of that? Correct, no? Yeah. That is in quadrant 3. It comes very urgently, but it is not very important for you. After attending to the call, you realize. Yeah. And also, how many of you have many times planned things, you wrote down in paper, you discussed with friends, but you never executed it? Anybody's experience? Yeah, that is also quadrant 3. That means, planning, the difference between daydreaming and goal setting? Goal setting means daydreaming with a deadline. That is called goal setting. And daydreaming means dreaming without the deadline. It's called daydreaming. So which one is waste? Daydreaming is waste. Goal setting is good. Goal setting means you dream with a deadline in mind. This activity I will finish in this time. This activity I will finish in this time, like that. So therefore, quadrant 3 means you plan a lot, but you don't execute. And sometimes before the exam, some friends come and spoil you. They take you for playing cricket or take you to a movie, and then they want you to fail along with them in the paper. They say why they should fail. They want some company for failing. So that is also in quadrant 3, unfocused activities. And quadrant 4 is not urgent, not important. See, junk mails, some unnecessary phone calls, time-wasting activity, gossiping, surfing the net uselessly without learning anything. All that comes in 4th quadrant. So actually, quadrant 3 and 4 are not important. But what is its connection to Bhagavad Gita? I am going to tell you now. So based on this, now you all can test your personality, and then we will go to this. See, in Gita, Lord Krishna says 3 types of time managers. One is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So you will see tamasic people or tamoguni people. These are some of the bad qualities they have. Nidra, alasya, pramad. Krishna says 3 words in the top. I have put it. What is the meaning of nidra? Too much sleep. They sleep too much. Alasya, laziness. Pramad, madness. Why they are called mad? Because they smoke, they drink, they take drugs, they take tobacco. And all these are harmful agents to the body. But when they become depressed, they try to forget the depression by taking in these things. But do these things help them? They make situation go from bad to worse. But these are the habits they have. See, from the top, if you see, a person is lazy, so he sleeps too much. He becomes inattentive and disoriented because of too much sleep. And he always postpones. He's in snooze mode always. And he's dull and he's hopeless. And then because of hopelessness, he becomes depressed. And then he grows mad. When he goes mad, what he does, 2 things he may do. Either he may consider suicidal thoughts, or he may drink or smoke. These are things he will do. He becomes intoxicated like that. These are things he will do. And similarly, on the other side, you see, because of laziness and not doing any activity, he becomes confused in life. He doesn't take any initiative. Then he becomes foolish, indecisive, insecure, fearful, panicky, and he cries also sometimes. And he doesn't think. Why I have shown the picture of a fox? The fox never takes initiative. Whenever tiger eats something and leaves some flesh pieces, in the night the fox goes and eats those leftovers. That's why the fox is tamoguni, night creature. It only keeps awake at night. Some students will never do assignment. If somebody does it, they will copy it. That's also Tamaguni actually. Mm. So those who do the assignment, they are the people who are thinking people. And they are thinking people, they grow also in life. Those who are copying people, sometimes even there is a joke, they say, one fellow when he made the assignment and he closed the file, there was one monkey, which sat in the file. Monkey means fly. When he closed it, that got hit on this thing. So the person who was copying found that fly. So he also got one fly to do that also. Like that he copied. It is, some people copy like that. Everything that is there, they have to copy as it is. So these are people in Tamaguna. Especially you can remember three qualities. Nidra, Alasya and Pramad. Oversleep. Night they will sleep 10 hours. Daytime they will sleep another 6 hours. Sometimes people work for Monday to Friday and Saturday whole day they sleep. I have a friend in IIT who slept on Friday and got up on Sunday. After the exam was over. So they have lethargy. They have lazy, oversleep and madness. These are symptoms. And most importantly, they are indecisive, confused, bewildered, not very clear in life what to do. There was one boy who didn't get job for 1 year. Can you imagine? He was staying with other friends. Because he tried for a few jobs, he didn't get, he became depressed. So he didn't try for job for another 3 months. And again he started trying, he didn't get. So these people become disoriented. So if you have any of these characteristics, we have to get rid of it very soon. This is second one, passion, mode of passion. Sangha and Trishna. Sangha means attachment. What is their attachment? Like they're attached to honor, prestige, status in life. They want to show off. They want to see glamour, show glamour. They have thirst for honor. And they are attached to opposite sex also, impressing the opposite sex. They have a controlling tendency, bossing tendency, like a lion. They want to be a single leader. Like look at the picture on the left top. You want to run ahead of everybody. Below also, you see, everybody is working cooperatively in a team. They are all putting hands together, but he is red color. He will not cooperate with them. He will be on his own. So, and also yelling bosses. Yelling bosses are also in Rajoguna. And he is extremely competitive in nature. He joins cutthroat competition. Gets angry, lusty, proud, individual player. And he doesn't think well. He partially thinks and takes snap decisions. That is a mode of passion. And this is Sattva Guna. Sukham and Jnanam. 2 words Krishna says. They are peaceful, happy, cheerful, friendly, cooperative, understandable. They listen well. They speak well. They are wise. They are intelligent. They are thoughtful. They lead simple lives. And they are forgiving. At the same time, they have good habits. They are disciplined and obedient. Many qualities are mentioned here. Calm, clear, creative thinkers. So out of the three, you will see Sattva has some of the very special qualities. So Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also says that Sattva Sanjayate Jnanam. If you really want to awaken knowledge, one has to come to Sattva. That doesn't mean Rajoguna is useless. See, Rajoguna means action. Sattva means thinking. And Tamaguna means lethargy, inaction. You don't do any activity. So, Rajoguna is in that sense better, at least there is action. But what we have to do is the action has to be guided by wisdom. Then it is just like a flood cannot do any good, but a guided flood in a dam, that can do great good. If you store water in a dam, that's useful, but a flood is not useful. Similarly, Rajoguna is not useful, but Rajoguna guided by Sattva is good. So Raja is what we call as Raja. Raja means yes, Rajoguna. And Rishi means he is in Sattva. So therefore, Raja, Rishi, when you combine both, that means Raja guided by Rishi. Like Chanakya was the guide of whom? Chandragupta Maurya. So Chandragupta Maurya is Raja and Chanakya is Rishi. So he became Raja Rishi. Shivaji Maharaj is Raja and was guided by Samartha Ramdas. So then he became Raja Rishi. Lord Ramachandra, for example, he was guided by Vishwamitra, so he became Raja Rishi. And Dasharath, he was guided by Vasishta Muni, so he became Raja Rishi. Pandavas were guided by Dhaumya Rishi and also Krishna and Bhishma, so they became Raja Rishis. So So all of you, many of you here are engineers, so you can become engineer Rishi. Huh? Or you can become Dr. Rishi also. Huh? There can be Rishis amongst engineers and doctors and chartered accountants also, provided you are guided by a saintly person. How many of you already have a spiritual mentor who is guiding you in spiritual life? You already have. Yeah, so these people are already semi-rishis already. They have that guidance they have. So you can see Arjuna, when he is fighting the battle, he was not doing whimsically. He was fighting the battle under the guidance of Krishna. So all of you also can act under guidance. Then your life will be very glorious. Then it will be, so you can add sattva to your life. So those of you who have seen this before, please do not answer. Give chance to those other students who are seeing it for the first time. How many of you are seeing this for the first time, this picture? And okay. See, here's a song here. You have to actually tell how the three people would act. People in Tamaguna, Rajoguna and Sattoguna. You know this story, right? The cap seller who put all his caps in a basket. Then when he slept, the monkeys took it all away. Correct, no? So now when the cap seller woke up, imagine he's a Tamaguni cap seller. How would he behave? Anybody? Those who have heard this before, please don't tell. Give chance to others. Huh? How would he act if he's a Tamaguna businessman? Please give the mic to him.
He will start attacking them.
No, he won't attack because I told you Tamaguni people are lazy fellows.
Oh, so okay.
What he would do? Anybody?
He would cry.
He would cry. That's correct. He would cry. He would be panicky. Like one American company came from 900 crores to 300 crores. So the owner of the company became very panicky. He started crying. He became depressed during COVID time. So in COVID time, whichever company suffered losses, when the owner of the company was in, Tamaguna, he went into depression. He started taking alcohol or drugs. See, therefore, Bhagavad Gita is very practical. You see, if somebody is in Tamaguna, if he came out of Tamaguna, there were other people, industrialists, they saw that COVID is picking up. Now we have to find out alternative ways, how our company can survive. They found out alternative ways. For example, when the hotels were closed, some of the street shops, like in ISKCON also, we had street shops. So when COVID came, people couldn't come out of the houses. So we told we will do home delivery for you. Then the business was as good as, opening the stall. People were very happy. They said, yes, we are unable to go out. If you can come and feed us at home, it's wonderful. Now we have Swiggy. You know Swiggy, right? You can send it through Swiggy. So in this way, the idea is, if you are in Sattva-guna, you will think of creative ideas. What can be done? Like for example, all of us brahmacharis, preachers, our whole life is all about going out and preaching. Going to colleges, schools, homes. When COVID came, you cannot get out of the four walls. That is the first time many of our devotees learned how to operate a Zoom. And they started with it. Now, even illiterate devotees know how to operate Zoom now. They know how to start. In our ISKCON, even the old ladies who are 80 plus, they also know how to start on the Zoom and how to connect now. So devotees learned, and actually we did more preaching than when COVID was not there. We can say we did double or triple reach out of knowledge to people sitting in the temple. So the whole idea is, if one route is blocked, find out alternate route. And that is only possible if you are thinking creatively. And the creative thinking happens in Sattva-guna. In Tamaguna, as he rightly said, he will become panicky, he will cry, he will go away. In Rajoguna, what you said is correct. In Rajoguna, what he will do, he will take a stick and try to beat the monkeys. Or he'll throw stones. Will that work? They will all jump and run away. And caps are also gone with them. So, actually in Sattva-guna, a person thinks and acts. I spoke elaborately on this last time. Think first and act next. Vision first, action next. So, when this, hey, all monkeys have taken away my caps and they're all jumping up and down. How will I get the caps now back? Then he thought deeply, what is the nature of the monkeys? Study the nature of the monkeys. He said, monkeys have a habit of copying. Whatever you do, they also imitate. So he took his own cap and threw it in the basket. And they all did the same. And he got all the caps back smartly. That is the story. So there is another example not given here. Let me see who can say that. So let us assume that there is a cinema theater, you went to see a movie. It is like a big hall like this. There are only two doors open, one here and one there. 1,000 people are sitting in the theater hall. Suddenly the electric wire breaks out and there is a fire. And smoke is enveloping the entire hall and fire is coming. Fire is spreading very fast. And now 1,000 people have to come out of two doors only. Other doors are all locked. Now in that situation, what you will do? Anybody? Any of you? If you are in that situation. I'm giving a real practical life situation. Immediately what will you do? You'll just keep quiet like this, like now? Or you will do something? Anybody? If you raise the hand, mic will come to you. Yeah. What? What's her name?
Ishan.
Okay, Ishan will tell us. Yes.
We'll try to keep calm and find the exit and try to guide others towards
But
it.
do you think 1,000 people can escape without
Maybe
fire
try to
damaging
put
them?
it out. Try to put the fire.
How will you put out?
There'll be sand over there in buckets, so
Stand there and do what?
sand or fire extinguishers.
Oh. But fire extinguisher, you are seeing it there, but you don't know how to operate it. Because it has got some mechanism of operating it. Isn't it? Anybody? Yes? Let us see. Yeah, yes. What's your name?
Aditya Prabhuji.
Aditya, yeah?
We have to control the situation by acting as a leader, and first we have to slowly the children and the ladies, and then the adults, all the men at
Yeah.
the last. And first we have to manage the situation, and then first we have to send the children, the mothers, all the ladies, and then the adults.
Very amazing that as a leader, this is what I also would like to do. But the problem is nobody is listening to me. If everybody want to save their life. I want to send the children and ladies and old people first. But nobody is listening. I am shouting, telling people, allow the children. They are saying, hey, what are you talking? We want to save our life. Isn't it? Everybody is saying. Then what will you do? Anybody? Yeah. You heard it already before? First time you are hearing. Okay.
Rosie, one thing I want to say is what Prabhuji told us, right? As a leader, we should think like that. But as a leader, we should also think practically because 1,000 people from two doors
Correct.
cannot go out,
Yes.
and there is an urgency. So
Yeah.
first, we need to stop the root of the problem.
Correct.
So we need to off the main first. The first thing is
Correct.
electricity.
Yes.
So that's causing fire. So
Correct.
we should off the main,
Yes.
and we should tell everybody to stabilize. In the situation of chaos, if we become
Tell
chaotic-
people not to panic.
yes, ma'am.
Very soon we will do something. Don't worry. We'll tell them.
So
Okay.
we can put off the fire itself.
But how do you know where the mains are? We don't know. It may be somewhere else. May not be in the hall. Anybody else? Yeah?
As a group, we can go and break the doors.
We can go and break?
The doors which are closed.
Oh, closed doors, huh?
Yeah.
Actually, closed doors are locked. Big locks are put up. With a hand, how will you break?
Guruji, Hare Krishna, Guruji. As far as I'm concerned, I'll think of all the situations, and if there is nothing to be done, I'll just surrender on to God.
Acha. So what will you say? Hare Krishna you will chant?
Yeah.
Okay, and then? Behind?
I think we should systematically move out row by row the people who are on the first, and if there's a door from the back, everyone from the back is.
No, there is only two doors only here.
Yes, so the people who are on the lower half of the theater will go from the back
But
side.
back, unfortunately, is not open. I am telling of a specific situation. I am telling. In the given situation, only two doors are available and 1,000 people have to come out. So many of you said many things. There is one very important thing that we should do. As soon as you see the fire, you should take your mobile and make a phone call to fire brigade. Or at least if you don't have the fire brigade number, nowadays mobiles it's available nowadays. You can call the police 999 or something like that. If you don't know, you can call your parents. Imagine you make one phone call to mother or father and tell them, now I came to this theater and there is a big fire, I may not come home. If you want me to come home, you please kindly save. Do something. And they will bring the fire brigade, correct now? Is there anybody more concerned about it than your parents? So if you tell your parents and tell the fire brigade, two people. So fire brigade people are extremely fast. As soon as you say there is a fire, first thing they will do is as soon as they come to theater, they will switch off the mains, what you said, because they are very smart in these things. I have seen fire brigade people coming and doing activity. So, and fire brigade is available in mobile. See, everybody who has a chapel has got a mobile also, correct now? Everybody wearing sandals in the feet, they also have a mobile. Any of you here, you don't have mobile, tell me? You all have one, correct now? Then why don't you use it? So for using it, you have to think first. If you think, then you can act. But otherwise, you may think of many other possibilities which are less efficient. Most efficient, because if you call, some amount of danger is there. People are, you can also tell the people, fire brigade is called, don't worry. All of you go in a row. Don't cry, don't shout, don't push. If you push, nobody will be able to go out. So at least start moving. Like that you can make a shout and then you already call the fire brigade. Fire brigade is coming, fire will be put off in a moment. Don't panic. That's all. That's all I will do. So why I told you this? This is one real life situation I told you now. In anybody's life, such things can happen. Yeah. One another example I'll tell you. You are getting into train. One time I was actually getting trained with my assistant. And I was wearing a costly chappal. Chappal was some 2000 rupees. In those days, not after I became a Krishna devotee, this was before, in my college days. Somebody had gifted. So now it's very costly chappal, 1500, 2000 rupees or something like that. So now when I got into the train, one chappal remained behind because the train was slowly moving. One chappal is in platform. And I got into the train. Now train is moving a little fastly. And I wanted to jump out. And everybody said, don't jump. So at that time, I have to make a decision. Should I jump so that my chappal will be saved? Nobody will take it. Or should I remain in the train? What I should do? How many of you say remain in the train? Okay. How many of you say, hey, you can't afford to lose chappal, jump out and take the chappal, you can catch the next train. How many of you say? Yeah? Give an applause to him. So, he made a good decision. Life is more precious than the chappal, correct now? So you have to think. See, these are situations in life where there is not much time to think. There is only very little time. So if you are in Sattva-guna, see, Sattva-guna is such a guna that you will get you'll be able to think properly. At that appropriate moment, what would be ideal to do, correct now? One time I was going with one devotee, he had to put on some 2-3 book boxes and then climb into the train. He could put the boxes and he couldn't climb, train was too fast. Train went ahead. Of course, he had to take a taxi and catch in the next station. But the point is, there are challenging situations like that. So therefore, vision first, action next. Correct, huh? Okay, now you see, what type of time manager are you? See, plan, do, interact. Which is important in this? Huh? Planning is important, or doing is important, interacting is important? Huh? Yeah. Okay, now you test yourself. Huh? See, here in this, you can put plus, 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 or minus, 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 or plus, minus, plus, or minus, minus, plus, depending on which one you are good at. You all just note in your notebook and then you can see the answer I am going to show you. Plus means you are expert. Minus means you are not so good at it. Okay? How many of you understand the activity? You understand it? You understood now? You ready now? I'll show you the answer now. Okay, if you got plus, 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 you are a balanced person. If you got plus, plus, minus, you do your own things well. You don't care about others. If you got minus, plus, minus, you care about others very well, but you don't do what is given to you. You do others' work very well. And if you get plus, minus, plus, means your intentions are good, but nothing happens. There is. So, you check you are in which category in this. Still, you are a plus time manager because you got 2 plus. How many of you got 2 plus? Okay, that means you are a plus time manager. Then you are a minus time manager. If you are getting 2 minuses. If you only plan, you are called daydreamer. If you only work hard without even planning, you are called workaholic. If you are very good in making friends with people, you are friendly but poor at finishing work. So all the 3 people in and of themselves are incomplete people. They are in the 3rd and 4th quadrant people. So you should not be in any of these 3. You have to combine all the 3. Plan for a couple of minutes, act for 1 hour, and after 1 hour take a 5-minute break. Then again plan for 2-3 minutes. Again act for 1 hour, take a 5-minute break. Those are the smart workers. They do all the 3. See, if you got 2 minus, you can check it. Which one you got 2 minus? If you got plus minus minus, you are a daydreamer. That means you only plan well. If you are doing minus plus minus, you work hard without planning. And then later on you lament that it was waste of time. Yeah. Because sometimes somebody else has already done it before. You didn't know it, so you wasted your time. And minus minus plus means he's very friendly with all, popular fellow but doesn't do any work in the company. Like that. Minus minus is very dangerous. You got an idea, no? Okay, see, this is the first quadrant I told you. Why do people get health crisis? Because they work 16 hours a day. In the computer, they get stiffness, neck, back pain, and ulcers, and health crisis because they overwork. Similarly, I told you, deadlines for assignment submission, surprise tests, computer crash, and all that. And quadrant 2, I told you, it is a quadrant for meditation, yoga, pranayam, for your self-improvement. And you take training, you build your relationship with people who are important for you, plan well, all these things come in quadrant 2. These two are most important. Decide and do it now. See, useless things you delegate, and then, useless things means important, but, urgent, not so important, okay, delegate to others. So already I discussed about this. Now I am going to give you an activity now. So I will show you like this, you have to say which guna it is. Please read it quickly, who has the mic with you? You read it, others will tell it is tamaguna, rajoguna, sattoguna, you have to say, okay? Read it. Has the mic with you? Yeah, read it. Take the mic.
Never setting goals and not sticking to them.
Yes. Answer? Tamaguna, correct. Next.
Moving around and socializing too much to feel security.
Yeah. No, that is tamaguna, because they are moving around to feel security. Because tamaguni people are insecure people. Like fox. They always want to, they feel inferiority complex. They feel panicky, fearful. So they move around to socialize, to show that I am also a very important person, like that. Yeah.
Low level of concentration, getting easily distracted by
Trivial things. Yes. In Rajoguna, you get distracted. Because Rajoguna people will always, like if they are watching a TV, they will change to 20 channels within 5 minutes. But nowadays there are choices also more everywhere. That Rajoguna people have tendency to, they think maybe something good may be going on another channel. In this way, they will never be happy at all. They'll always think something else I can get if I go there. So they get distracted very easily. If a pop-up comes, immediately they'll go to the pop-up. They will give up their work. That is distraction. Rajoguna.
Doing more than one thing at a time and accepting unrealistic deadlines.
Yes. Correct.
Getting involved in everything to gain credit and popularity.
Correct.
Indecisive and postponing decisions.
Tamaguna. Correct.
Thinking no one else can manage my work if I am absent.
Rajoguna, they are very proud. They are single players. They think without me things cannot go on. Therefore, they are actually having a grab credit mode. They will never share the credit. So therefore, they get overloaded also. Rajoguna people. Yes.
Feeling difficulty to work in with highly accomplished and smart leaders.
Actually, both people have difficulty. Rajoguni people, Tamoguni people. Rajoguni people have difficulty because they are individual players. They are not team players. So they have difficulty. Tamoguni people have difficulty because they are insecure. They fear that one of my team members is so smart, others are praising him, so I will become unimportant and he will become special. That fear is there. So because of that, so it can be either Rajoguna or Tamoguna, depending on their consciousness. Yeah.
Forgetting things are badly organized and clean desk.
Tamoguna, yeah.
Looking for too much of perfection in job leading to micromanagement.
Rajoguna, correct. Rajoguna people are micromanagers. They think other than me nobody can do this work. Therefore they micromanage everybody else. So these are called time wasters. So they all come in which quadrant? Anybody knows? All these things come in which quadrant? Huh? They are coming in third and fourth quadrant. All of them. You will see that. See, fourth quadrant is Tamaguna. Third quadrant is Rajoguna Tamaguna mixture. First quadrant is Rajoguna. Second quadrant is Satoguna. So second quadrant is Satoguna. So Sattva should be combined with Rajoguna. So first and second quadrant are good. That means either urgent important or not urgent important. Because what is important, you keep it. What is unimportant anyway, whether it is urgent or not urgent, how does it matter? If it is not important, just throw it away. Correct, no? So these are all the things where we lose our time. If you see this, Rajaguna is driven by ego. So many people have lost one company, just because the president of the company spoke harshly with vice president. The vice president left the company and he joined the rival company. And then the rival company started booming because he brought all the nice things from this company to this company. So you can imagine what a big loss can happen because of Rajaguna. You can see that. So if you learn these gunas, you can know what is the good side of Rajaguna, you keep it. Bad side of Rajaguna, you have to remove it. Just like apple sometimes has a black spot, you remove it. Unwanted portion. So therefore, now time management means you avoid these time wasters, that's all. Tamaguni, Rajaguni activities, the more you reduce them, number one. Number two, you think and act. Increase your sattva. Then you will actually become a thinking man. You can do a lot. Srila Prabhupada had 108 temples in his time. He had time to remove the spectacles and put it in a box also. You know that? He had time for even keeping his pen in a box. And he went for morning walks. And he also took oil massage between 11:30 to 1 every day. He had time for all this and he was running 108 temples worldwide. At that time, there was no mobile also. He was running through snail mail. By postal mail, he was running. And he was running 108 temples. That goes to show what a smart time manager he was. You can imagine. And we people struggle to run even one center also, many times, because of not being a smart time manager. So smart time manager is one who avoids Tamaguni, Rajaguni activities. He thinks and acts. See, these are second quadrant. They are very important. Read that first one. Improving?
Hare Krishna. Improving communication with people.
If you know to communicate with people, you can avoid a lot of quarrels with people. Many times you may say that, I said this, you didn't understand. They will say, no, you never told this. They will say, a lot of time is lost in the communication. So, for communicating with people nicely, be friendly, be cooperative, be understanding, be a good listener, and respect the opinions of others, and be willing to be open for change. These type of good attitudes in communication will help you. Second one?
Better preparation.
Yeah. If it is an interview, you should be better prepared. If it is examination, you should be better prepared. And better preparation comes in second quadrant because it is before the event actually happens. Third one?
Better planning and organization.
Organizing, yeah. Better planning and organizing. Plan, organize, coordinate, monitor, control. These are the 5 aspects of management. You know it, right? Plan, organize, coordinate, plan. What is the second thing? Plan, organize, coordinate, monitor, control. So these things, in that, plan, organize and coordinate comes in second quadrant. And then monitor, control and all later on you do it in the field. But actually plan and organize is very important on paper. So most things you will see in our life, 75% things are done in paper itself, if you plan well. But if you don't plan well, everything comes at the last minute. The next one, fourth one?
Taking better care of self.
For example, if you don't live a life in crisis zone, like you don't sleep very late at night, sleep early, rise early in the morning, do chanting Hare Krishna meditation, go for a walk, and then do some yoga, pranayam, keep your body hale and healthy and brisk, study a page of Gita every day, have a habit, eat sattvic prasadam. In this way, keep your body healthy. When Prabhupada went to America, one professor Stahl asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, your Hare Krishnas, their face is so bright. What is the secret? Their faces are shining. So Prabhupada said, see, these fellows were earlier hippies, Prabhupada said. They were having, long flowing hair and mustache and beard. and they were also smoking, drinking, they were into drugs, they were looking unkempt, very ugly. How did they become beautiful? Prabhupada said they are not eating meat, they are not drinking wine, they are not taking drugs, they are not taking tobacco, and they are not doing illicit sex with any woman, and they are drinking cow's milk, and they are also eating pure vegetarian prasadam, and they sleep early, they rise early. And if you lead a sattvic life like this, then you have a tejas. You have brilliance in the face, and you have clarity of thought, you have peace in the mind. So they are very healthy. Body also they are healthy, mind also they are very healthy. So therefore, we should take better care of the self by leading a sattvic life. Next.
Seizing new opportunities.
Yeah. Actually, in quadrant 2, you have time to stick your neck out of the window and look for opportunities, what I can do at this point of time for a better future, brighter future. You can actually plan in advance because you have time still. How I can do this. For example, say you have 6 months to go for your exam. First 3 months you can study the Indian author books. Next 3 months you can study foreign author books. Correct? Now you have time. But last minute before the exam, can you study? You won't have time. So opportunities are always there when you plan in advance. Next.
Personal development.
Yeah, correct. Actually, the development can be done in every field. For example, you can learn skills. You can learn new set of skills. Like when Pandavas were sent to forest, do you think they were doing time pass in the forest? They were very smart. Yudhishthira Maharaj sat with Brahmins and learnt what is dharma, what is true religion, what is right, what is wrong. Kshatriya dharma, he learned from Brahmanas. And he told Arjun, don't waste your time in the forest, go to the heavenly planets and get celestial weapons. He got Pashupatastra from Lord Shiva. And he got celestial weapons from Indra. So Arjuna did his part. And Arjuna also got married to Ulupi and many others, and they expanded their allies with multiple kingdoms also. And Bhima made a connection with Hanuman, and Hanuman promised to join the battle by being on the flag. He made friendship. That means Pandavas, they were not doing time pass in the forest. They were actually making connections and new allies on one hand and building up the skills. So all of you ask yourself during the COVID time, if somebody became jobless, should one be sleeping at home, or you should make new connections with new people and also think of learning some better skills. Correct? No, Pandavas are smart. Therefore, one should do personal development. Next, seventh one.
Preventive maintenance.
Yeah. As opposed to breakdown maintenance. If you don't do, like for example, one of our devotees got a small, hole here. He was telling how to stitch it. But then he was morning program, he went, he was dancing in the kirtan. 2-3 days he didn't stitch it. Then one day, one devotee while dancing, his finger came here and just got torn from here to here straight. So, therefore it is at a stitch in time, saves time. That's called preventive maintenance. Don't go for breakdown, go for preventive. The Rajdhani Express was going over a bridge. That bridge had a crack, and one person had submitted the photo that here is a crack in the bridge, small crack, please kindly repair it. So he submitted to railway station master and remained there only. They didn't take any action. And exactly, 1 month later, the crack was slowly developing. Nobody bothered about it. And when Rajdhani was going over the bridge collapsed. Bridge broke. Although it's a very nice air-conditioned express, still some 20 people died inside the AC rooms, inside the AC bogie. So because they didn't repair it on time, they didn't do preventive maintenance. Now after breakdown, they realized it. Next one.
Empowerment.
Empowerment, yeah. Actually, one should pray for empowerment from the Lord. Hanuman prayed to Lord Ram, to Indra, and he prayed to Surya and to Guru, Surya Dev, everybody he prayed. Actually, what is the difference between, our doing something and after getting empowerment doing something? It is difference between our strength and God's strength, it is said. 1 plus infinity is infinity. Like Arjuna got support of Krishna, therefore he won the battle. Correct, no? So we can also actually pray for empowerment. Empowerment doesn't come only by prayer alone. We also have to equip ourselves to become better, increase, modify our ways of doing anything. So in this way, these are all coming in quadrant 2. Quickly, we will go through the learning agility. See here, results agility, self-awareness, mental agility, people agility, change agility. That means, are you ready for change? Like, we had audio cassettes. Then we had CDs. Then we had flash players. And now we have small CD-ROMs where you can put 50,000 songs. World is going at a very fast pace now. Many things can keep on cloud nowadays, Correct now, storing for how much things have changed. So world is changing very fast. That is called change agility. People agility means you are ready to adapt yourself to different types of people. Some people will be angry with you, some will be affectionate to you, some are neutral, some are soft spoken, some are strong spoken. With everybody you can deal. That's called people agility. Research agility means whether you get success or failure, you are equipoised. Like Lord Ram was told, you are going to be king tomorrow. It was all right. When he was told you have to go to forest for 14 years, and the face cut was same only for Ram. There was no difference. That's called research agility. He was not broken down. Similarly, mental agility. So all these things are explained here if you see. So here agility is given here. Please read it. What is adaptability? Read it.
The ability to change something or oneself to fit occurring changes. People with
this competence, they smoothly can handle multiple demands. They can
shifting
shift
priorities
priorities.
and rapid change.
Yes.
Adapt their response and tactics in fit fluid circumstances. Are flexible to how they see
Yeah.
events.
Yeah. That means, many times people say that, hey, you promised me this when I joined your department, now you are changing it. They say, no. We should be prepared to change as per the challenges that the world throws at us. If, therefore, we cannot put much conditions in this world. You will see that, like for example, one boy was joining a company as a GT. He asked them, how much will you give me? They said, we'll give you 20,000. And then, when will you give me promotion? They said, first you complete your training period, and after that from probation, we'll move you to a permanent job. They said, how much will I get? They said, you'll get 40K. And then he asked, but when will I become team lead? They said, that may take about 5 years. But not all become team lead. Some will become team lead. They said. After that, when is the next promotion? They said, wait a minute, do something. They said, the company. Prove yourself. And depending on your performance, you will grow. Not that we can tell you everything right now. You all agree? Correct, no? So, therefore, this agility means one should be able to, act according to different situations in which one is thrown. See here. Results agility means delivers results in challenging first-time situations. Self-awareness means extent to which one knows his own strengths and weaknesses. SWOT, he can do. SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. Mental agility means ability to examine problems in unique and unusual ways. Yeah, you see, people agility means skilled communicator. Work with diverse people. Change agility means likes to experiment and is comfortable with change. Some people don't like change. See, in circus when you go, you have seen this trapeze artist is going like this. You have seen that? So everybody keeps watching. There is one particular situation you all like to see very much. When he leaves that rod and turns around and catches another rod and goes this way. How many of you like that? Correct, no? You like to see that? Is that thrilling for you, or catching the same rod and going again and again? That is thrilling for you. Which one? Second one. Changing, right? In the same manner, if you are an adept leader, you are willing to change. Like Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was always fighting. Now in this battle, it was a new situation for him. There were relatives on both sides. He broke down. He was not ready to fight. He said, with relatives I will not fight, with others I will fight. But Krishna said, you have to change now. Because relatives are no more relatives. They are all adharmic now. It's a war between dharma and adharma. So then he became prepared to fight after that by hearing the Bhagavad Gita. So Gita teaches us lessons on how to deal with the changing world around us. Yeah. It's called agility. See, even more elaborately, agility is explained in this slide. Is it too small for you to see? See, the openness to try new things, rapidly grasping new ideas. You see? The speed at which you grasp ideas, the flexibility for the new things, the interdependence means you are actually humble enough to ask help from others also. Even from your juniors, you can take help. Just like I told you, I took help from somebody for drama. I did. So you don't mind taking help from anybody, you can take help for receiving help. And also collaborative. You can collaborate with others. You can research and increase your knowledge. You reflect and think various possibilities. So in this way, all these are different aspects of learning agility, you see, multiple things. But you all understand it to some extent, right? Now, agility means adaptability, ability to change according to the one skill that the World Economic Forum is it's vital to success, especially in the modern times. Yeah. This is very easy. This one, goal setting. Having specific goal must be measurable, be positive but realistic, and pair goals with action. Don't just have the goal alone. What action steps? Like for example, the aeroplane is here, the aeroplane is to go there, and what steps I have to take to go there? That's called vision, we call it. So in the 8.5 Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, the goal of life is to remember Lord at the time of death and go back to God. This is a spiritual goal. He says that those who remember him at the time of death, they can only go back. You all know Gandhi, when he was shot, what he said? Hey Ram, he said. That means he called Ram's name at the time of death. So naturally, he'll be born in a very good devotee family in the next life. And he is very likely to become a wonderful devotee. Prabhupada said Gandhi was very, very much sattvic enough to come to the. Prabhupada wrote a letter to him, but we don't know whether it reached Gandhi or not. So Krishna says that, but for one to be able to remember the Lord at the time of death, one has to do preparation in the life. Correct, no? You prepare that. All your life, you lead a life in a certain manner. So at the time of death, you can remember. So, and then you attain that goal. Om etyeka ksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. So he says that the yogis chant Om and they ascend to the Brahma Jyoti, the spiritual effulgence. But those who chant Hare Krishna, they enter beyond the spiritual effulgence into the Vaikuntha planets. That's the ultimate goal of life. For the human form of life, that's the ultimate goal. But that is spiritual goal. In the same manner, you have material goals also. You see, material goal means what? Like you're going in a train. You have a destination to be achieved. But the travel also, you want it nice. How many of you agree? You want to travel in the train, you want a clean, nice train, or you want a dirty train? Clean, nice train. You want the wash basin to be filled with water, not going down, and the lavatory door not closing and stinking, or you want a clean train. Actually, you need a clean train, correct, no? And you want the journey to be comfortable also. And you want to reach the destination also. So in Gita, Lord Krishna teaches both. How to make your current situation in this world comfortable at the same time, smooth and productive. And at the time of death, how we can go back home, back to Godhead. So the goal, when we say not only going back to Godhead, that goal, ultimate goal is one goal. And there are also intermediate goals also. Like for example, a simple example I'll tell you. If one of you is becoming a Krishna devotee now you have to go for MBA after your engineering. You will smartly take those departments where you can work less and earn more. For example, I'll tell you, you take HR, human resources. You can go to company at 9 o'clock and come back at 5 o'clock in the evening, 9 to 5 job. And still you make the same money what others make. But if you're a marketing MBA, then you have to slog like anything, you all know. You can't be in one place. You have to run all over the world. But as a Krishna devotee, you are thinking that I would like to be in Hyderabad, come to temple regularly, take association. I want a cool job which pays me well. At the same time, my devotional practices will be intact. Therefore, your goal, that is your goal. When you're clear about the goal, then you go for HR type of job. There are other departments also, IM or industrial management. There are certain things which, in the same manner, you all know software testing, for example, correct, no? Software testing. Some people took those courses because there are some courses which are easy way to make money without having to slog too much. Then why would a devotee think like that? Because the devotee wants to make time for Krishna. So be clear about the goal. How many of you would like to earn out your money without much difficulty so you can give time to spiritual life? Correct? No? Yeah. So that is also a part of goal setting. Therefore, if you're clear about the goal, then you can make plans accordingly. See here, achievement orientation requires an individual to show concern for working towards the self-imposed and defined standards of excellence. People with this competence, they set themselves challenging goals, measure their own performance against those goals, actively seek out information to get the job done, and use their time efficiently. Actually, Everything you can set goals. There is one devotee who told me he has just like a flash player type of thing. He puts 10 lectures in that and finishes it in 10 days. That means every day one. And after 10 days, he will delete those 10 lectures and put 10 more. In this way, he is very goal oriented. He makes a plan to complete certain tasks in certain number of days. What is to be done and by when I have to complete. So, if you have such kind of habit, then you are a very good goal setter. Below one you see SMART, SMART. The goal should be specific, and that means this is the goal I want to achieve. It should be measurable. Don't say vaguely. It should be measurable and should be attainable goal. Don't talk of infinity. Attainable goal. It should be relevant to your life also. And then it should be deadline and should be there, time bound. This is called SMART. We call it specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time based. See here, this is last one. Decision making. We learned about learning agility. We learned about goal setting a little bit. Now the last one, decision making. This is the most important thing. You see here, there are many alternatives. That's why there are challenges in decision making. And there is also uncertainty in every decision that you may make. The risk involved. And there are also interpersonal issues involved in decision making also. And okay, now let us say, how do we do this decision making? See, the steps are given here. Collect information, identify alternatives, weigh evidence, choose some alternatives, implement action, evaluate results, and reach conclusion. In everything you have to decide. For example, you're eating prasadam. Should I take one more chapati or should I stop now? That's also decision making in eating, correct? No? Should I go for MBA or should I write cat or gate? That's also a decision. Should I go for joining an industry or should I go for teaching? So then if I want to go for teaching, I'll go for PhD and then I'll go for teaching. Or I'll go for industry. That's all decision making there also. Similarly, some people, should I be brahmachari, should I be grihastha? That's also decision making. Should I, should I take a job in India, should I take a job abroad? Correct? No, that's decision making also. So that all these are decision making, and every decision comes along with some strings attached to it. Every decision will, for example, one boy was telling, Prabhu, good news, Prabhuji, I got a job, he said. I asked him, but where is the job? I asked him, is it in a place where there is an ISKCON temple? He said, that's only small problem, Prabhu. There are no ISKCON temples nearby. It's in some place called Patala Ganga. So he said, there is no temple, but I can take Prabhupada's books with me. I can read. But Prabhuji, they are giving a very fat salary. So he said he was more concerned about the material goal and not the spiritual goal. But I told him that, why didn't you try for more jobs? You may get a similar job in a place where you also have devotees association. Correct, no? So is that not important? If you don't have association, you will get spoiled. Correct, no? So therefore, the decision making is a very important thing. One should not be penny wise, pounds foolish, as we say. Correct, no? So decision making is a very deep thing. It's a big subject it is. See, gather facts, brainstorm, see the pros and cons, decide, follow through, and define or clarify. Like for example, one company invited me for a seminar for their employees. Mini firm, 100 people were there. Then he called me second time, and he called me third time, almost 4 or 5 times he called me. So I asked him, sir, every month you're calling me, will it not reduce the time of the work of the employees? He said, no, my employees are becoming more cool-headed now. They're becoming more smart, they're becoming more peaceful, their dealings have improved a lot. They're more respectful to one another. So he said, your coming and talking has been helpful in making company culture a better culture. So that means he is focusing on the finer aspects of the company than the gross aspects. He is able to see that in the long run, the company will be a flourishing company. Correct, no? Rather than just go for money now. Now we some or other push people to work and make a lot of money and they will leave the job and go and later on company will be closed down. Correct, no? So therefore he is saying decision making is a very important thing. So in the Upadeshamrita, first verse, he says, how do you begin all these things? 6 urges you have to control. See, blah, blah, blah means vachavegam. Control your urge to speak useless things. Talk meaningfully. And Manasavegam means the mind's demands. Third one is Krodhavegam, means anger. And Jihvavegam means overeating. Overeating people also do what? After overeating, what they do? Sleep. When they sleep for too long a time, they get disorientation and tamaguna. Similarly, people who overeat in the belly, they have diseases also. Udaravegam. Upasthavegam means attraction to opposite sex. See that boy is being pulled by the girl, you see. Huh? These people cannot be efficient in work because his mind is always, filled with romance. Huh? He'll be watching YouTube videos, this and that. He will not do any good work. So these urges have to be controlled. 6 urges. He says the best leader in this world is one who has mastered these 6 urges. He can have thousands of leaders under him. He says that. The Goswami says that. So you'll remember these 6. What is the first one I told you? You can see the picture and say, what is the first one I said? Urge to speak useless things. Second one, mind with impurities. Clean the mind by chanting Hare Krishna. Third one, anger. Fourth one, too much tasty items, junk food eating and getting obesity. Fifth one, eating too much quantity. Fourth one is too much quality food. Fifth one is quantity food. Last one, urge for the opposite sex. Clear, no? Yeah. Anyway, here is a doctor talking about chanting. Quiet environment, comfortable position, repetition of a prayer, chanting, passive attitude free from thoughts. See, in doctorate thesis, Dr. David Bryan Wolf says that, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He's done a research. I have the book with me. If any of you is interested in his whole thesis, I have with me in PDF copy. I'll leave it with whom? I can give it to. Okay, I'll give it to Vishnu Prasad Prabhu. I'll give it to him. If anybody wants to read that thesis about Mahamantra research, you can see that. He got a doctorate thesis for this. Where he has done that. So it's called Mantra. So I can show you his this thing. Just 1 minute. See, this is his thesis. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You are seeing it? Effect on stress, depression, the 3 gunas. So David B. Wolf. This is the book. The whole book. He has published many international papers on Mahamantra chanting. See, chapter 1, chapter like this. He has done research on thousands of youths in America. So this is a PDF copy. It's available. You can go through it. Yeah. You can see the experiments and everything also if you wish. Okay. That's all. I'm almost done. I don't want to delay you all. Already we have become very late. This is a Mahamantra. You all know it. Anybody saying this mantra for the first time? Anybody? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So, this is a proven mantra. Even Harvard University professors have done research on this and published papers on Mahamantra, just like I showed you now. So, chant this mantra, it cleanses the mind of all the impurities and it increases your sattva guna. So, here you see here, the brain wave cycles per second, if it goes beyond 13, this is the Harvard research I was telling you, this is the one. If it goes beyond 13, it's active, beyond 18, hyperactive, beyond 21, people die also due to extreme passion. And below 8 is drowsy, below 3, you go to sleep. But yellow zone is the alpha zone, which is actually the sattva guna. Below 8 is tamaguna, above 13 is rajoguna. Red is rajogun, black is tamagun. And yellow is sattvagun. So chanting Hare Krishna brings you to yellow zone, sattvagun. That is proved scientifically. Yeah. Regular chanters share their experiences, okay? Many of them are glorified. Many people living in society. You know who this is? Hemalini Mataji. See what she's saying? Let's create a magic through the power of prayer. Let's chant together Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Prabhupada ki. If you are Sattva, you can dance like this. Like this. Thank you. See here. Thank you dancing. Yes, sir. So one important thing I want to tell you all, one good news for you. We have been organizing a course called Discover Yourself course, on and off. But now we have a team of devotees who are ready to organize it every weekend. It is going to be Saturday evening they will go, and then Saturday night they will stay in some special place like Samshabad is one place, where you can also see Sripad Ramanujacharya's big murti you can see. And also we have one farm also, Hare Krishna farm also we have. Just about 45 minutes to 1 hour from the temple. So it will be overnight stay, and the next day whole day, and the next day night you will come back. It's like only one evening and one day, one night and one day. So it's going to be a very, very special program. All of you are welcome. If you haven't attended Discover Yourself course, you can go. There will be bus or train going. It will be happening you have some poster to show them. And they are going to share with you in WhatsApp. How many of you already completed Discover Yourself course? You already finished? Few of them have finished, almost 10, 12 of them. Others, you all have an opportunity. So, if you go in the weekend, every weekend different expert preachers will be taking you all. So, you're most welcome to join. And others can join this type of evening program. Every Saturday we have this type of program. So, how many of you found the subject understandable to you, not very complicated, what you heard today? You found it? More than 75%. Okay. How many of you found it, oh Prabhu, this is too many organizational things, it's all mind-boggling, it's just going over the head. Be honest. How many of you felt like that? Nobody, okay. In India, generally people don't raise hand very easily. They're shy. They will not give feedback very easily. They like to be kind to everybody. That's the nature. No problem. So, but you will see that what I showed you today especially is Tamaguna, Rajaguna, Saptaguna in Bhagavad Gita has a direct relevance to our everyday life. You could see that. It has an influence in your profession. It has your influence in family. It has your influence in friendship circle also. Your interpersonal dealing, your own inner happiness, all those things are dependent on these three gunas. Sattva is very important to cultivate. And temple programs are actually geared towards increasing your sattva. You can see many of the devotees, your seniors whom you meet, they're practicing for many years. So you all have, in my channel I have put one a series of lectures for behavioral science series. In that, if you go to the smooth sattvic solutions, if you put sattvic, you will get immediately. So there you will find 2 lectures on how to increase our sattva more in our life, how to bring in sattva, so we rise above tamaguna, rajaguna. So see at your own leisure. And I thank you all for taking out your Saturday evening time and coming here. Your coming here proves that you have some inquisitiveness, jignasa is there in you, and you are carrying some, sukriti from your purva janma, some good spiritual pious vibration. I am sure that if you keep coming, you will learn a lot of good things here. The coming. Thank you. Hare Krishna.